all right, everyone. Here we are. Happy Dog Man book release day. Let's see everyone in the chat. I want to see some hype in the chat, you guys. Let me turn it down a bit. How is everyone doing? Bennett was the first person I saw. Let me see Ruby, but I think you said you want to go by Bruno, right? We have Mike the Fly. We have Sloan Dale. By the way, Mike the Fly is really cool. I remember him from book 11, actually. We have 3 Zoe Lover. We have Grayson. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Bible Quizzer, welcome to the stream. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Speeder Sonic. Make sure to tell me your name in the chat if I may have missed you guys. Make sure to tell me. And today, today is a very special day and a very happy day because right now I'm going to pick up a copy of a book that I've been waiting for so long. I'm sure you guys can say the same thing. Here it is. Dogman Big Jim Believes. I'm sure you see me looking down a little bit. It's because I'm looking at the chat. The camera's up here. I also have a second camera here if I want to show a little bit inside the book. And let's see, how are you guys feeling today? So this was my plan, right? My plan was that I would show like the first chapter of the book so you guys can get a taste of what's happening in the book, how it's looking, that type of stuff. I know you guys don't want, obviously, you guys don't want spoilers from the book, so I'm not going to go any further at all. But would you guys be against us using or us showing the first chapter of the book? Ice Cream Lover says, Dorian, why did you use AI? Well, I've used AI a lot of times in the past just to show what something could look like. For example, when we're talking about the Dogman movie, before it even came out, I showed AI to generate a picture of what Dogman could possibly look like in a DreamWorks style. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because it does take a lot of time. It takes hours and hours and hours to get the right picture of Dogman looking well, to animate him, to move him in certain ways. So it definitely takes a lot of time. I wouldn't call it AI slop. But I don't think there's anything wrong with AI necessarily if you're just using it for positive purposes to be good. So let's see what everyone is saying. Are you guys against us seeing the first chapter of the book, or do you want me to just hold back on it? Let me do a poll. Let me do a poll real quick. I think that's the fastest way to tell. All right, the poll is up. Maybe you guys can hear me furiously typing. Well, let's see. I think it should be good, right? All right, I'm going to do like a little bit more zoomed out because then I can show different things. But let's see what everyone's saying. Shelly says, dude, I'm so hyped. I know this book is so good, right? So let's see. The poll should be up. So it looks like 76%, 80% now. It looks like everyone is saying that we should read it. For those who don't want to do it, maybe close your eyes for a little bit, but don't go yet. I'll tell you when we're about to read, so you don't have to run away yet. Hashtag Big Jim for the win. That's right. Let's see what everyone is saying, though. So it looks like the vast majority of you guys want to see a little bit. Of course, I think a lot of it might have appeared in sneak peeks. Not the first chapter, but sneak peeks definitely happened. Alberto, you can, of course, ask me a question. But guys, before we go ahead and talk about that, I want to talk about something very, very special. So guys, listen closely, get your listening caps on, and I want to show you guys something that might be a good opportunity for you guys. So you guys, I know that Dogman is your passion. You guys love Dogman. We have people like Bible Quizzers saying that they're so hyped about the book, right? But also, I know that you guys like watching these videos because I don't really look at you guys as fans. I look at you guys as a community of just Dogman lovers, right? We talk about the books. I do my best to respond to your comments. For example, I see Mike the Fly saying, oh, me too. I'm excited about the book. All that type of stuff. I know you guys are excited, and this is a whole Dogman community. But I know some of you guys think of me as a relatively big YouTuber in the Dogman scene. So that is where I want to help you guys out. So recently, I was grateful enough to reach over 50,000 subscribers, and I was fortunate enough to reach that number. So I want to help you guys out. If you remember in the summer, I did a fun workshop where I showed you how to be a Dogman YouTuber. but I was talking about a more generalized version of it. I showed you 2 types of videos you can make. I said you can make top 5 videos or you can make versus videos. Those are the 2 types of videos that I suggest, right? So now, guys, I was thinking about it. I said, hold up, listen up, and remember, we're gonna get to the book soon. But I told myself, listen up, Dorian, think about it. If you want them to grow and have YouTube channels, because you guys want, like, for those of you who want to have Dogman YouTube channels, I know there's a ton of you guys. Some of you want to have YouTube channels in general. The rules still apply. But I was thinking, and I said, you know what? Maybe Dogman 14 Big Jim Believes releasing is the perfect time for this to happen. Because remember, guys, before, and those who didn't watch the past stream, the best times to grow on YouTube is when something trending is happening. If you keep track of my sub counts, you'll see the sub count is going to go up by a lot more than it usually does just because this book released. Around the time Dogman the movie released, I got so many subscribers, my channel exploded. So right when a release comes out, guys, right when a big book comes out or something, that's the time to capitalize and that's the time to grow your YouTube channel. So, guys, I wanted to do something special and I wanted to do a workshop on how to be a Dogman YouTuber, but I wanted to make it all about Dogman Big Jim Beliefs. So, you guys, I've decided to send this Google form right here. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And basically, I'm going to teach you guys how to make a video that I am going to send to Dave Pilkey. That's right. So make sure to check the link in the chat right now. So guys, listen, you heard me right. I'm going to teach you guys how to make a video that if you want, if you choose, I will be sharing to Dave Pilkey. Now, what will the video be about? I'm going to teach you guys how to make a review video. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make a review of any book, any movie, but the focus is going to be on Dogman Big Jim Believes or on the Dogman movie. So you guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to make a review, how to focus on Dogman Book 14 or how to focus on Dogman the movie. And what I teach you is going to apply to any type of review you want to make. And I'm going to teach you so many tips related to making videos on setting up your camera, writing a script, doing all this stuff that's going to apply to any type of videos that you want to make on YouTube. So before we jump into chapter 1 of reading Dogman 14, Big Jim Believes, I wanted to do that for you guys. I wanted to give back because I know so many of you guys are at least interested in the idea of making your own Dogman channels and making your own channels about anything. So I want to give back and teach you guys now when it's the right time to do so. So I put the Google form link in the chat. I'm going to put it right back here. It's completely free, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned it. You can have your video in front of the eyes of Dave Pilkey completely for free, thanks to me, guys. So think about that. In the review, maybe you want to say what happened to Petey. Maybe you want one of your favorite characters that no one really cares about, like Nurse Lady or I don't even know who. Think about them. Maybe you want to bring him up to Dave Pilkey and say, hey, Dave Pilkey, I want to see that character come back. And he's going to watch that video and he's going to have something to say about it. So think about it, guys. If you want your videos to be in front of the eyes of Dave Pilkey, if you don't want to, that's completely fine. But if you do, I wanted to help you guys out for free and teach you guys how to do so. So I gave you the Google form link. If you want, you can do that in the meantime while we're reading it. But it's going to be pretty cool, you guys. So let's go ahead and just switch gears and start talking about Dogman Big Jim Believes. So I'm going to show a little bit of the book and let's get into it. So I want to go ahead and change my camera real quick. I go to the settings, camera, and I shouldn't be gone. All right, should be here. Is it working? Is it not? Let's see. Let's take a look. In the meantime, you guys can submit the form if you wish to. So this is my screen. This is what I look like. Here we are. Okay. So where is the book? I want to set it up the right way. I have my computer to the side. I have my microphone right here. All right. Is it flipped? It is flipped. All right, here it is. Here is the beautiful Dogman Big Jim Believes, you guys. So, by the way, we have 2 responses already. We have Sloandale and Vibel Ratana. Sorry if I pronounced that right. So, guys, the first people who submit this form, the people who are the first ones and the best people are going to be the first people to submit the form, because that means that you care the most about submitting the form, signing up, and getting ready to have your video in front of Dave Pilkey's eyes. So make sure to, by the end of today, submit that Google form, you guys. You might get a little reward for being one of the first. So let's go ahead and look at this book. So 3, 2, 1, here we go, says Mike the Fly. First of all, I was fortunate enough to receive a signed copy from Dave Pilkey himself. So if I open it up, you'll see this. Isn't that cool, you guys? Look how cool that is, you guys. To Dorian from your pal, Dave Pilkey. Honestly, that's so cute. That's so fun. And I'm so grateful to Dave Pilkey. Of course, Dogman 13, Big Jim believes, if it's on the back, it's not. Dogman 13 was actually dedicated to me. I'm so grateful for that. But Dogman 14 is also kind of related to me because Dave Pilkey said that we as a community inspired Big Jim to be in the spotlight. That is, we inspired Dave Pilkey to put Big Jim in the spotlight. So if we open it up here, we can see little Jim looking at who he's going to become. I think that's a pretty good message because this whole book talks about, being inspired, trying to be the best you can be, believing that you can do anything. And I think that if you guys just imagine who you want to be in life, what you want to achieve, what you want to accomplish, how many people you want to help, inspire, grow, once you do it yourself, then I think this book kind of really reflects on that. And of course, I also said once you get success, you can help other people succeed. But we can all lift each other up in the meantime. We don't have to reach a goal before doing so. And the book guy, I'm not going to show everything in the book, so I'm taking it pretty slow. So we have all these different chapters, of course. And let's take a look. We have Sarah Hadoff reports extreme news. She says, "Hi, folks. I'm Sarah Hadoff, and this is Zuzu. In case you're just joining us, you might be wondering why we look so different. Fortunately, we have an exclusive recap featuring high-tech graphics, cutting-edge 3D imagery, and widescreen state-of-the-art high definitions." Is it flipped, you guys? Because on my end, it's not flipped, but is it flipped for you guys? Let me know if it's flipped. Yeah, it looks flipped to me. Because on StreamYard, it doesn't look flipped. How about now? All right, that looks good. Okay, because in StreamYard, in my streaming app, it's flipped. Now it looks like it's wrong now. But let's see. She says, let's roll the clip. And this is in the 3D state-of-the-art high definition replay she was talking about. So let's see. We have a UFO came. It zapped stuff. And the stuff changed from normal to super cute. It was really sad. Okay, bye. That's pretty funny, right? So then Sarah Hadoff says, "Hey, what was that?" And this guy says, "Well, we had some budget cuts and our audio video department got replaced with a 7-year-old kid who was willing to work for chocolate chip cookies." She says, "Oh, I see. So anyway, the UFO got destroyed by the newest heroes in town, Commander Cupcake and his loyal sidekick, Sprinkles." She says, "Who are these new heroes? Where did they come from? And why did they hide their true identities? When will we see them next? And what important things are they doing at this very moment?" And let's see at this very moment what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and read one more chapter because this one was only a couple pages long. So let's do it. It says, "Meanwhile, in another part of town, we narrow our gaze and peer into shadowy confines. And there, a petulant soul," I think you can learn a lot of new words reading Dogman, "reveals a plot of spiteful malice, a petty prelude to awakenings." So he plays that trumpet in his ear so dang loud, and then he starts cackling. "Every morning you wake me up with your silly songs and your ridiculous dancing, bouncing around like a big baby. Well, today I woke you up. How do you like that? Not so funny now, is it? Well, how does it feel?" It feels wonderful. Good morning, Grandpa. Get your greasy paws off of me. Why are you always so darned happy? Because I get to do so many fun things. I get to make my bed, squishy squishy, sweep the hallways, whooshy whooshy, and serve breakfast to my pals. Happy yum yum. Respect. Those things aren't fun. And tonight we get to have the most fun of all. For tonight we shall save the world once again as Commander Cupcake and Sprinkles. That's a hard no. I ain't doing that again. Why not? Because every time I hang around you, I get nothing but bad luck. Bad luck, I tell you. But Grandpa, bad luck can be a good thing. How can bad luck be good? Well, let's pretend that you missed the bus, so you couldn't go to the beach. That's bad luck, right? Yeah. But what if the beach exploded? How can the beach explode? But you didn't get hurt because you weren't there. Because you missed the bus. You'll never know what worse luck your bad luck has saved you from. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But Grandpa, leave me alone. I'm gonna spend the next 24 hours here in this jail cell, away from you and away from superhero costumes. Wait, what's that noise? Commander Cupcake rules, Sprinkles forever. I love them both. Well, folks, it looks like the whole town is here to celebrate our new heroes. I wish they were here too, to bask in the glory. Quick, give me my costume. And that transitions into chapter 3, which says the short-lived glory basking of Commander Cupcake and Sprinkles. And you can just tell that now Sprinkles, aka Grandpa, cares a lot more about turning into that costume and everything now that he can get a lot of glory off of it. So you guys, I'm going to end it there because I want to encourage you guys to get the whole awesome book for yourselves just to read it. But I think it was pretty cool. What do you guys think so far? I'm going to switch my camera. Let's switch this camera. By the way, the background looks pretty cool, doesn't it? All right, we should be good now. And we are. All right, so what do you guys think? Epic Charles Official says it was great. The book guy over there says cool. And let's see, you guys, what everyone's saying. Slow Nail says, honestly, I think Petey, or I wish Petey was Sprinkles instead of Grandpa. Yeah, it's an interesting point, but you will be happy because, of course, we have Petey on the backside. Okay, now it's disappearing. The whole time it wasn't. But we do see Petey on the back, so, you know, we see at least a little bit of Petey, isn't that right? So it's definitely interesting to see, you guys, because I think there's so many like different elements in the Dogman books that Dave Pilkey can't possibly focus on every one at once. You know what I mean? Like, for example, in these books, he's focusing on the big three: Dogman, Big Jim, and Grandpa. While on the other hand, we have people like Petey who aren't in the spotlight now, but they were completely in the spotlight in book 8, 9, and 10, and so. So it's definitely interesting to see. But Sloandale, if you want to talk to Dave Pilkey and tell him about it, then I'm going to go ahead and put the form link in once again so that you can I think you've submitted it already, Sloandale. But for anyone else who wants to submit a video for Dave Pilkey to see, then this is the way to do so. But let's see. We have a bunch of responses already, so definitely interesting to see. But yeah, you guys, let's just talk a little bit more about the book. So do you guys have the book yet? Yeah, today is the release date. Dogman Jr., the Detective Club Official. That's the long name. But do you guys have the book yet? Have you ordered it yet on Amazon? Or are you getting it at Barnes & Noble? Are your parents making you wait until the weekend? I mean, that's always a bummer, right? But then it makes the weekend even funner. See, that's a good rhyme too. Alberto, yes, you can ask me a question. No problem. So Epic Charles Official says no, not yet. Okay. I think a lot of people are waiting until Friday or Saturday because then they can kind of just focus and bask in the glory of the book instead of focusing on schoolwork. But yeah, let's see what everyone is saying. Wow says Grandpa is mean, but he's interesting and we can learn a lot from him. Through hating him, we see what we don't want to become. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if too many of us really hate him but we definitely don't like and we don't agree with what he does, right? So I guess that we do learn a lot about what we do not wish to become. Jakari says, I got the book at Barnes & Noble's today. Nice. Same for Zachary Davis. So it looks like a lot of you guys went ahead and got it on release date. Okay. Sloanedale says, I'll probably have it on Christmas or my birthday. Wow. So that's a long wait, Sloanedale. I don't know how long you can last, but we'll see. Hopefully you will. And let's see. Yeah, Wow says, I could not wait for Christmas. I'm getting it over the weekend. God is good. Thank you for saying it's a cool video, and I like your username a lot also. God is good. And let's see, the book guy over there, 16, says, I will get it. Sounds good. And Rachel Morrissey says, bro, Little Petey is the best character. Who's with me? I'm not with you. I think Big Jim is the best guy. And then Petey. Realistically, I think Petey is probably the best character because he has so much going on. He has so much character development. He has a fully fleshed out past, a fleshed out future that we can see him going towards becoming a better guy. And in the present, he's done a lot. He's fought against Grampa. He's developed Little Petey. I think he is the best developed character. But then, of course, I love Big Jim also. So I like Little Petey too, though. Yeah, yours was freshly baked from Amazon, right? I love when I just get a book and then I can just like smell the freshly baked scent of a new book. It's so good because it's always like the smell of the freshly printed pages and everything is just so nice. It reminds me of when I was younger. But let's see what everyone is saying. I hate how PD is gone against his Planet Rabbit testing. And let's see. I wonder why Dave Pilkey decided to make Grandpa's parents both men, which doesn't make sense considering the time period it takes place in. I didn't even catch that. Let's check it out. I didn't even see that. It might be, but I thought Fritzy was like a girl's name for a second. So I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But let's see. What else is everyone saying? Let's see. Yeah, maybe he was adopted. Interesting. Honestly, if Grandpa was adopted, that would add even more lore to his story because, of course, you know how it is. He doesn't have parents and he was abandoned by his old parents and that type of stuff. I think that could add a lot of sorrow to his story, but I definitely didn't notice that. But guys, let's talk more about just how we're excited about this book because I know there is a lot of people who haven't gotten it yet. And I know that Sloanedale is definitely one of the people who is waiting on the book. So we're not going to talk too much about spoilers, Sloanedale, but I will say that I think it's really cool how we have so many different things going on in the book. I will say I've read the entire thing already. And I think that the Space Cuties are really, really cool because they're like a different Dogman villain. You know what I mean? Because usually it's like the classic bad guy. It's like Dr. Scum. It was Petey in the first couple books. It was Flippy. But this time the Space Cuties, they're like aliens. So you don't even understand their motivation. They don't really care about taking over the city. They care about taking over not the world, but the universe and that type of stuff. So it's definitely interesting to see the Space Cuties. I think they're a lot different and they're a nice change of pace from having a average typical villain. So it's definitely cool to see. I don't think there's still any potential for Grandpa to turn into a bad guy because I think he's already over the line. He's becoming a good guy reluctantly, even though he doesn't want to admit it. But I think it's definitely something cool to see. I think it's cool to see. But let's see. Wow says, Dorian, what's at the end of the book? Yeah, it's a bunch of house draws. So it's really cool to see. But honestly, one of the most underrated parts of like the end of a Dogman book is the notes section. Because when I was little, I would find it pretty boring. It's just a bunch of text without images. You know what I mean? But now I think it's pretty cool because you can learn so many things from what happened behind the scenes. So Dave Pilkey wants to talk about like a Bible verse that inspired a part of the book, or he wishes to talk about how Big Jim got his idea about you never know what worse luck your bad luck has saved you from. He mentions that being inspired by a movie called No Country for Old Men. So I think it's a lot of interesting facts and behind the scenes. And Dogman Jr., see, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows. I can tell he's cool because he says, I love the notes. That's right. Let's see what everyone is saying. Dorian, do you use Sumdog? I've never heard of Sumdog in my life. I don't know what that is, my friend. I'm sorry. I just looked it up. It's like a math game. I suppose your parents make you do it at school, but I've done that. I've played similar games when I was younger in class also. So now I do kind of know. But yeah, God is Good says all the Dogman books are so good. Yeah, I agree. So what's like your favorite Dogman book, guys? Like if you had to pick one, which one would be your favorite? For me, it has to be Dogman Big Jim Believes. This one, I'm not Big Jim Begins. Yeah. There are a bunch of other contenders, but I have such a good connection to Big Jim Begins. So I have to pick Dogman Big Jim Begins. But tell me, guys, if you haven't read it yet, if you think that Dogman Big Jim Believes has the potential to become your favorite book, because it could be interesting. Mike the Fly, I really appreciate that. Mike the Fly was actually my favorite character from Dogman 11. So I like how you put him in there. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. And let's see what everyone is saying. So Dogman Jr. says fetch 22. Nice. The book guy says Big Jim Begins. Yeah, see, we need to have more Big Jim series because I feel like the past two books are really underrated. Of course, this one hasn't really been reviewed yet. But Big Jim Begins was pretty underrated in my opinion. I think it was pretty cool. But let's see what everyone is saying. Well, yeah, maybe they're not your favorites, but I'm sure that we can learn a lot from these books. We can enjoy a lot, and we can just see a lot of awesome stuff because, of course, there's a lot to see. Also, Sloandale, this isn't a spoiler because it's on the back cover. It says, "Do our beliefs shape our reality?" And I think that's a pretty good thing. And I want to hear like what your guys' take on it is, because in my opinion, I think to an extent it's true. So in this book, of course, I'm not going to spoil too much, but a big theme is the same one from Big Jim Begins, where it's talking about how Big Jim is always thinking positively and he's acting with kindness and all that stuff. And Grandpa is a lot more negative. He's a lot more cynical. That's another word for negative. And he's just possessive of a really bad worldview and a bad perspective towards the world. So this book kind of compares and contrasts it. I know I sound like your English teacher maybe, but it really shows that, like, imagine yourself, right? Let's say a lot of you guys, or hopefully all of you guys, are generally positive, right? You try to think about things positively. Obviously, not everything is going to be positive in your perspective, but we all try to think about things positively, right? Imagine if there was a clone of us. Maybe there will be clones when AI takes over. Imagine there's going to be clones of us, and those clones only think negatively. So they do everything we do. They experience everything. They have to go to school every day and everything, talk to the same people, but they think about everything negatively. Their experience at the end of their life, when they look back and they review their life like a Dogman book, they're going to see that their life was a lot more negative. They didn't enjoy the fun moments. They didn't have fun. They didn't laugh. And they didn't see the good in the big things and the small things. Meanwhile, if you're your positive versions of yourself, guys, you're going to have so much more enjoyment, so much more appreciation. And overall, you're going to, like, one of the best things of being positive, which isn't always easy, is that you can find happiness in small things. As we saw with Big Jim, he was happy and he felt like content. Maybe not content, but he felt happy and he saw the positivity in making his bed, in cleaning the jail, in benefiting others, not just yourself. So that's a little bit of a tidbit from me. I know I talked a little bit, but I wanted to talk about one of the big themes in this book, because I think that Dogman Big Jim Begins, or Big Jim Believes, is a really cool book. And I just love everything that's happening in this book. So you guys, I think that was pretty good. I think we made a good general first impression of the book. We read the first chapter 1 and 2, but what else do you guys want to talk about in this stream? Because if there's something I missed, I definitely don't want to miss it. Once again, if there's anyone new coming into the stream, click on the Google form. It's going to be where I, for free, am going to be teaching you how to make a review video. So many of you guys want to become Dogman YouTubers, and now's the time. When the book comes out, you're going to have everyone searching for the book, everyone giving you views, subscribing, and now's your chance to prioritize that. And that's why I'm going to teach you guys how to make a review of either Dogman 14 or the Dogman movie. And at the end of it, I'm going to be sending the reviews to Dav Pilkey himself. So you guys, Yeah, it's free, by the way, Mike the Fly. It's free, and your video is going to be in front of Dave Pilkey's eyes, at least a part of it. So make sure to sign up at the Google form. The link is in the chat, you guys. But let's see what everyone is saying about the book. Planet Rabbit Testing says, have you heard about a brand new Captain Underpants manga coming out in April? It's going to be based on the plot of the first movie, I think. That's right. It's going to be really, really cool, you guys. I need to buy that, actually. I need to pre-order it because I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think it's a different artist, but Dave Pilkey worked on the story, so it's going to be interesting to see a third spin on Captain Underpants because we saw his original book, we saw the movie come out, but now I think the manga is going to be pretty intriguing, as Sloandale says. But there is a QR code at the end of the book that shows where Petey is at. That's right. Let me pull that up. Where's Petey? Uncover the clues. That's really cool to see. I actually missed that when I was making my first video about the book because I said the mystery regarding Petey still goes on. So I guess I'm not wrong, but that's definitely interesting to see. And let's see what everyone says. Wow says, can you read my comments? I love seeing my name. I love Dogman books and Mr. Pilkey as he brings me so much joy. That's really cool. Sloandale, maybe Dave Pilkey did that just because of you. Maybe he saw your comment in one of the videos and he said, you know what? I need to tell Sloandale what happened to Petey. All jokes aside, it is fans like you, Sloandale, who inspired Dave Pilkey to do a lot. I spoke to him when the movie was coming out, when I actually saw him at an event in DC and in one in New York. And I can tell he really, really cares about what fans think. So I think it's definitely interesting. And the QR code is at the end of the book. So it's going to be cool to see. That's a reward for finishing and reading the full book, though that isn't really a hard thing, right? The books are so fun, so interesting that it's hard not to read them and fly through them. Let's take a look. See, he didn't write just for Sloandale, but maybe it would have been cool, right? But let's see. What is everyone saying? I love seeing my name too. I love Dogman. Well, then you're at the right place and you're at the right channel, my friend. But yeah, let's see what everyone else is saying. I don't want to go too deep into the book because, of course, I want people to read the books for themselves and that type of stuff. And also because of copyright reasons, I don't want to go too far into it and I don't want to spoil anyone. So those are 3 reasons right there. Well, let's see. Planet Rabbit says, Dorian, would you like if the Meet the Cast was replaced with OG George and Harold intros, or do you prefer the Meet the Cast? I think Meet the Cast is good because now we're so many books in. It's going to be the 15th book, which is the next one. Hopefully, we do get a 15th book. I think it's hard for a lot of people to catch up because obviously we are all Dogman super fans, but not every single reader picking up a Dogman book is going to know everything, and he's not going to know who George and Harold is. He's going to be confused. So I think the Meet the Cast is a really good way to just fill viewers and fill readers into what's happening. So I think the Meet the Cast is better now that there's so many books because people can, at a glance, see, oh, who's Dogman? What's up with him? Little Petey, what's his strength? What's his weakness? That type of stuff. How about you, Planet Rabbit Testing? Thank you so much. God is good. I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. This guy says, I hate Dogman books. Only Wario likes Dogman books. So I guess you're Wario and Waluigi, right? That's funny. And let's see what everyone says. Did Cat Kid Comic Club end for good? I don't know. It's on a hiatus right now. But I think I like this style right now. I think I like seeing more Dogman books come out than Cat Kid Comic Club. But, of course, Dogman's the main series. Cat Kid Comic Club is more of a spinoff. Do you think it would be good if Little Petey had a son named Little Petey? Ooh, I think he's a little bit young for having kids or cloning himself or that type of stuff. I think Little Petey needs to just keep that joyful, youthful energy about him. Also, I noticed that with Dogman, it's like a day passes and then that's the next book. So I think this was like the next day after Grandpa and Big Jim stopped the Space Cuties, or at least very, very close after they did that. So I don't think time passes that quickly. But let's see what everyone says. Big Jim believes that fans on this channel will love him forever. That's true. Big Jim for the win, you guys. That's the quote we made. But yeah, you guys, I think with that, I think that we can slowly wrap up this stream because I don't want to go too deep into spoilers. I don't want to reveal too much for those who haven't read the book. But I do think that this book is looking really, really good. I'm super excited to just see what you guys think, and I want to share my opinions and all that type of stuff. I do plan to post a review soon, but I have a lot of content about the book before that, so we shall see. But yeah, you guys, I think it's very, very cool. I love Big Jim Believes, of course, and I think that this is going to be a pretty popular book with you guys. So make sure to get the book, guys, as soon as you can. Ask your parents, beg your parents, do the chores, do all your homework, get an A+ on your test, whatever you need to do. Do what you have to good. Do what you have to do while being good and doing good in order to get the book, because Dogman Big Jim Believes is an awesome one, and I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts. So yeah, guys, let's see what everyone says. Yeah, we created Big Jim on the channel. That's right. We inspired as a community Dave Pilkey to make a book about Big Jim, and now his legacy is going on. So yeah, thanks a lot, Mike the Fly, and many thanks to Dave Pilkey. And I appreciate it, you guys. So remember the hashtag we made, hashtag Big Jim for the win. That's what we need to put in the chat. Now, before we wrap it up, I will say that for WoW also, if you guys want to learn how to be a Dogman YouTuber, now is the perfect time, because whenever a new book comes out, that's when all the hype is happening. More people are watching videos, and that's the chance that you can capitalize and become a Dogman YouTuber. So if you click on the Google form that I just put in the chat, then you guys, I will be teaching you for free how to make a review of either Dogman 14 or Dogman the movie. So once I teach you guys how to do that, I will actually be sharing the videos with Dave Pilkey himself. So I think that's a pretty cool opportunity, and make sure to click on the video, click on the form. So yeah, let's see what everyone says. Yeah, I read the whole book, Jakari. I did. But yeah, you guys, make sure to submit the Google form if you guys want to, because it's a really cool opportunity. And you guys, I had a great time with the stream. I had a fun time discussing the book. And until next time, you guys, hashtag Big Jim for the win. Happy Dogman release day, and more videos are on the way. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Subscribe for more if you haven't already. Big Jim for the win.